Okay, so the last thing I want to talk about briefly is the relation between sleep and exercise. So first, this is the relation for me, and many of you might resonate with this, right? You're too tired to exercise, but then you're too tired because you never exercise, right? We know, or maybe you don't know, that exercise has been shown to increase your level of energy, which seems counterintuitive, right? Certainly you're expending energy while exercising, but it does energize your body in the long term, and can lead you to have higher levels of energy. But my excuse is that I'm always too tired to exercise, and then therefore, because I never exercise, then I'm always tired. And so it can be really difficult to break this cycle, again, particularly when we have so many other things on our plates that might be preventing us from breaking this cycle and starting exercising. So again, I'm not saying this to ridicule anybody or make anybody feel bad for not exercising, but it is really important and interesting to think about the relation between sleep and exercise and how we can harness exercise to improve our sleep and what the literature says about the efficacy of that. So first, there is some evidence that exercise does improve sleep, and particularly that it can improve the quality of sleep. So this comes from a study with the National Sleep Foundation. This was also written about in the Huffington Post, but this is from a major study of people's sleep quality, and what we find is that people who engage in vigorous exercise are more likely to report having a very good night's sleep compared to people who have engaged in no activity. They have less of a percentage that are having a very good night's sleep and more that are having a very bad night's sleep, right? So you see the blue is people who had a very bad night's sleep, and that goes up for people with no activity, and the proportion having fairly bad goes down as people engage in more exercise, right? So basically people who are engaging in more exercise are getting higher quality sleep. But so why would this be occurring, right? What's the mechanisms behind this? There's a few, again, reasons why this may be occurring. So first is that exercise does increase your body temperature, but then it can cool that off. Your body will cool itself down after exercising, and so it can ultimately lower your body temperature, and so it can help with sleep in that way as long as you're not exercising too close to bedtime. And that is true for a number of reasons, both because it will spike your temperature, and you don't want to do that right before bed, but also because initially it does increase levels of stress hormones, right? When you're exercising, you're certainly activating your sympathetic nervous system, but again, because you're expending that energy, those levels of hormones ultimately go down, and so you have less adrenaline and less cortisol, and so it can help you to ultimately sleep better. And so again, this is why you need to be doing this a few hours before you're going to bed. There's also evidence that exercise itself can train the circadian clock directly, that engaging in exercise can help to reset that clock. It's what they call a Zeitgeber, a time giver to the body. And so engaging in exercise, particularly first thing in the morning, can really help people who have a dysregulated circadian rhythm to bring that back into regulation. So exercise in the morning is the best for enhancing sleep. But importantly, it may take some time for that long-term effect on sleep to occur. So certainly exercising and wearing yourself out a lot in one day may help you to sleep better that night as your body tries to restore itself. But in terms of having a regular effect on sleep, some recent evidence suggests that it can take up to 4 months of regular exercise before you've really shifted your cortisol profile and your circadian rhythm. And so I say this not to say don't do this or to discourage you, but rather to encourage you to stick with it if it's taking some time to have an impact on sleep. And so indeed, exercise can have a positive impact on sleep. It's just not as quick and direct as we might like. And then, of course, it goes the other way. There's definitely strong evidence that a lack of sleep will impact your workout intensity and duration. When your body and mind are tired, it's going to be hard to exert that energy. You won't have that energy stored, and also it's going to be harder to focus cognitively and to drive yourself. And so certainly lack of sleep does impact exercise. So that's it for this lecture, and we'll end here. We will talk a little bit more about exercise and in terms of its relation to weight weight loss and to weight management in the next lecture, but we're going to end this one here. We're done talking about sleep, so I hope everyone is able to take some of these things into practice, try a little bit to get more sleep. Again, I know I'm not good at this either, and it's hard to do, but it really is one of the most important health behaviors that we can engage in. And so I think if we can remember all of the important effects it has, it can be easier to want to prioritize that over other things, right? If knowing that if we sleep is going to make our studying more efficient, then that can help us make the decision to prioritize that sleep over studying 1 more hour right now. So that's my advice to you, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye.